everyone, hope you're doing well and enjoying your day. I wanted to bring a couple of concepts and ideas to just get you thinking about what you should expect to be making when you graduate, and realistically what kind of money you should be thinking about bringing in. As a new grad, I think it's really critical to not necessarily think about the total amount of money that you're going to be making over the course of the year, but rather to be thinking about how much money you're going to be making over the course of the year per day that you work. And the reason I bring that in is because very few graduates have a full-time 5-6 days a week job right when they graduate. Now, there's going to be some of you that do that, but not very many of us do that initially. Myself as an example, when I first graduated, both my wife and I, who was a classmate of mine, moved to the Seattle area, and we had a job 2 days a week. That was me practicing 2 days a week, and within about a month, Christy had a job as well. But we didn't have work every single day that we potentially could. So if we had intended and graduated and said, hey, I'm going to make $120,000 this year as a new grad, realistically, our finances wouldn't have been set very well. Instead, just a general rule of thumb and a good way to think about how you may be making money is that you may be making around $400 per day. And we typically recommend that you think about your dollars per day cumulatively over the course of the year. So if you were to generate $400 a day, which in some cases is a lot, in some cases is not very much, but it's a good kind of general benchmark, you'll be making about $20,000 per day that you work. So if you have a job where you're working 2 days a week guaranteed, and you're making about $400 on those days, you'll be generating about $40,000 for that year. Now, if you were working 4 days a week, you would take $20,000 times 4 and would be getting about $80,000 a week. It's not an exact science, but it gives you a little bit of a number as to if you go into a practice and they say, hey, we have 3 days of work for you, and then you go and do fill-in work at other places. Just as a general idea, it gives you an idea of what you're going to be guaranteed as far as your total dollar amount. And if you were given those 3 days a week, you're probably going to be in the neighborhood of a $60,000 a year job guaranteed, and then you can add on fill-in work into that. So I hope that gives you kind of a groundwork and a base work to kind of base things on, and I wish you the best of luck. Thanks.